Hi, I'm John Gray, your Mars Venus health educator, your Mars Venus coach, health coach. Would you like more choices in your health? Everybody needs those choices. And without the understanding of how our body and brain work together, we have no choice. But we end up just doing what other people tell us to do, take this pill. And even though this pill has dangerous side effects, it's your only option. Well, now you have more options. So today we're talking about autism. I've done a lot of work with autistic kids at my Mars Venus Wellness Center for the last 10 years. At times we'd bring autistic children up with their doctors, and their doctors would be amazed. I had to stop it due to liabilities, but I gained the knowledge I know on how to help parents dramatically help their children who are autistic or experience symptoms of Asperger's. What we see happening in this situation is that over and over, if the brain is absorbing heavy metals in the environment, mercury, lead, other toxicities, other heavy metals that are going into the bloodstream. We breathe it in, it's in the water we drink, we're exposed to it. Then suddenly it goes into our brain and interferes with healthy brain function. The brain can't develop normally, and as a result we see Asperger's symptoms, autistic symptoms. Now let's look at something that happened in Japan a few years back. There was a huge spill of toxic substances in a bay, and the people just kept drinking that water, and it was toxic water, and everybody knew it was toxic water, but it didn't seem to have a negative effect right away, so everybody was fine drinking the toxic water. Mercury was in the water. But what they found is almost all of the children that were born of those mothers who had no symptoms of mercury toxicity gave birth to deformed children. It was a real tragedy. The point we glean from this is that while we as adults are experiencing massive amounts of mercury toxicity now in the fish that we eat, in the water that we drink, in the food that we eat, it's just there, it's in our environment. It doesn't affect us as strongly if we're adults. But our children, who they're in the womb, their brain is just developing, they have no defenses, they have no protections against it, and the actual mercury interferes with the development of the brain. See, for the brain to develop, it needs, particularly for the brain, the mineral zinc. And zinc, the brain really doesn't know how to deal with mercury. We've never been exposed to so much mercury, and so it doesn't recognize danger, danger, danger. Mercury comes in and sits in the zinc receptor sites, and that then interferes with the absorption and the utilization of zinc, which helps the brain to communicate back and forth. So what we realize is that over and over and over, there's all kinds of autistic programs. If you have a child who's autistic, I'm sure you've already explored them, which are focused primarily on chelation, pulling heavy metals out of the body, as well as taking shots of glutathione. Glutathione is a molecule that your body makes, your liver makes, which will help your body to detoxify 1,000 times more powerfully than anything else. So we want to help the body to make it, and autistic children really don't make the glutathione. And so injections of glutathione has helped tremendously. But you don't get complete remission, you don't get complete cure, but it helps. Heavy metal detoxification, there's different agents you can take for that, which are proven to help. EDTA, you can do, it's kind of like an apple cider vinegar molecule. It will go in and it will grab heavy metals and start pulling them out of the body. So the cheaper version is just taking a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and some water, about 2 ounces of water and a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar 3 times a day. That in itself will help the body to start removing heavy metals. But there's more sophisticated ways. EDTA, you can do injections, you can take it orally. That's another program. There's a product on the market that now has shown, I've looked at the statistics on it. I haven't done a lot of work on this one with autistic children, but I'm always looking for anything that will pull heavy metals out of the body. It's called Z Natural, as one word, capital Z Natural. And Dr. Haas, who's a good friend of mine, who's been at my wellness centers, wellness courses, and shared his good information, he believes that it to be the most effective chelation agent. So I haven't yet done that work with autistic children, but that's the latest thing I'm working with people. Long before that, I know what's one of the most powerful things, not just as a chelator, but something to help the body to make glutathione. Remember, glutathione is the thing our children are not making in order to get those heavy metals out of the brain, so the brain has the chance of developing itself. And it will, if we can just help to get those heavy metals out. One of the reasons vaccinations has got such bad press is vaccinations have heavy metals in it. Once they kick the mercury out, and I've talked to hundreds at conferences of women who gave their children vaccinations and very quickly they became autistic. I mean, I've seen it over and over and over. There's other reasons for it. The mother can just have heavy metals when the child is in the womb and she's had vaccinations, or it could just be drinking water and the mercury which we're exposed to. There's mercury in the air just from the tires on the road. If you're living next to a highway or something, you're getting mercury toxicity, lead toxicity. So it happens. It's happening. It's the world we're living in. The miracle is that we can help our body to detoxify. And particularly the agent that helps the body detoxify the most is glutathione. There are natural substances that will help your body make glutathione. And the most powerful of that, and this is what I used with the autistic children that would come up to my ranch. And we give them a special lemonade with aloe vera in it. This is an amazing solution. You'll get results right away. Within 3 days, some children started talking. Some children that had autistic Tourette's, suddenly the Tourette's were dramatically dropped. They could sit still. They could be quiet. They could listen to instructions. Some children were happy for the first time and calm and peaceful. One of the main ingredients that we gave them was a drink several times a day. Rather than apple juice, which so many parents think is a good thing, it's huge amounts of sugar in apple juice. Make a lemonade with a tiny bit of glucose in it, lemon, and aloe vera. You can also make lemonade and take a capsule of aloe vera as well. And over the years, there are different companies coming out with being able to extract the active ingredient in aloe vera, which helps to make glutathione. And that active ingredient is called mannose. One of my favorite products is Nuvera has Mannose Extreme, which has amazing results in terms of producing the glutathione and seeing the results of that. Mannose does a lot of other things besides make glutathione, which then helps the body detoxify. Mannose, which is the active ingredient in aloe vera, that's what actually causes the pain to go away when you have a sunburn. What that means is it causes inflammation to go away. Well, imagine if you can make inflammation go away in the brain. When inflammation goes away in the brain, then your body's able to remove those heavy metals much easier, much more effectively. In addition, that mannose helps the body to make glutathione, which opens up the pathways to remove those heavy metals. Now the child's brain can begin to function better. And then you're also, on the other hand, go to my ADD, ADHD tapes and presentations, and you'll be able to see the other ingredients which are very important for autism, which is grapeseed extract, the potential vitamins, chewables, they're very easy, and vitamin C. Those help produce dopamine in the brain. Lithium orotate also helps to activate the production of serotonin in the brain, so that helps to calm the brain, which these kids need. So you want to take some of these basic ingredients, the Mars Venus Wellness Solution, every day, twice a day for these kids. So this is what I was giving to these kids and getting immediate results with it. But the add-on, besides the wellness solution and the ADD remedies, the add-on was a little bit of depression remedies with the 5-HTP and helping to stabilize their blood sugar, giving the PGX, which is also helpful. And I've talked about that before in my depression and my ADD. Listening to those presentations gives you the basic foundation for helping heal your child of autism. If you add on the extra ingredient, and the extra ingredient is the lemon and aloe vera drink. What happens, what lemon does, is when you take lemon several times during the day, but just a little lemonade, lemon goes right to your liver and stimulates the production of bile that helps to remove the toxins from the liver so it can keep pulling those heavy metals and getting rid of them. So you need the bile to do that. The aloe vera in the drink helps to produce the glutathione that opens the channels and pathways for the body to detoxify so the brain can then develop. In addition, the mannose is what bonds to your proteins and your fats in order to rebuild your brain. So one of the most important added ingredients for autistic children is going to be the mannose extreme. This is a process that's taken years for them to develop. in one little capsule of mannose extreme, you can get as much mannose as you get from a whole aloe vera plant. Imagine that, because they're able to extract it in a form which it remains stable and can be easily utilized by the body. So in part 2, these are the nutrients that you need to reverse autism, but it still doesn't do it. In part 2, I'm going to give you the most ancient remedy of all remedies. It's been around on this planet forever to help restore the healthy brain function, healthy brain development, which you will get benefits from very, very quickly.